Hey guys, you ever go to a flea market or you get a new cartridge in the mail, you buy on eBay, and you hear all of a sudden you hear the cartridge making a noise? Yeah, that happens. It happens quite often, and it's actually pretty regular with these Nintendo cartridges. Usually, when that sound, that rattling you hear, it's usually just a chipped piece of plastic inside that holds the board in place. So you could also test that by lightly pushing on the board, and if you feel it moving a bit in there, which I do, so I know right away it's not the board, that there's something wrong with the board. I know that chances are it's that plastic piece in there. So what you need to fix this is actually you need a proper bit or screwdriver. You can get these on Amazon, eBay. There's probably tons of retro sites out there where you could buy them. They're relatively cheap. I only got this for a few bucks for essentially a whole retro kit. Opens up a bunch of things: N64 cartridges, Nintendo cartridges, etc. So I'm just going to crack this open. So that's the first thing you need, and then obviously there's a couple of ways you could resolve this. Myself, I got some crazy glue ready. I am simply going to glue the part back in. But often it's actually a challenge. So there's two ways to go. Actually three, and I'll list those out. So I just opened up 3-prong, and then you just open up the cartridge, and yeah, look, right when I open it, you can see it fell out. So what happens, and you know what, it always seems to be on this side of the cartridge. So you can see here, it's fine, it's in place, and you can see here, right here, it fits there. It fits in place, I can't quite get it because the board's in the way. But yeah, so that ends up cracking off, and it could be from inserting the cartridge so many times and the pressure, and it eventually pushes up and cracks it. So the first way, obviously, where you could fix it, which I don't recommend since this is usually label side, you could go ahead and just swap it out with an extra cartridge you have. Done, settled. But then you have to worry about getting another label on and everything like that. So I don't recommend that way, unless obviously you don't care that your Dragon Spirit is now Excite Bike or whatever you may have extra there. So another way to do it is obviously you could actually just glue the piece back in. I'm not going to actually go that route. I would if it was a particular awesome game. I would spend the time and glue that back in, but for this it's not worth too much. You could actually just put slight crazy glue on the board itself. Chances are you're not going to want to remove this ever again. You could put it, but make sure not to get it on any contacts or anything, and then you could just simply glue it back in. So that's the route I'm gonna go, and instead of the board itself, I'm just gonna simply put a little bit of glue here. Like I said, if it's in a pricey game, please do not do this method. Take the time and actually just glue this piece back in. That's probably the preferable method. So I simply did it and align the cartridge how you want it. Obviously you want to have it down so it's kind of pushing down, so it's going to make good contact, even contact with the system. You could also, when you have this open, you could take the time and actually clean the connectors here on the board. So there you go. So I crazy glued it. Well, I shouldn't have pulled it that hard. That's funny. Gotta put a little bit more here. Usually I give it time to dry. Just for the sake of this video, I'm going a little fast. So let me just push on it, make sure it's in place here. Alright, that should be good. So I'm just going to simply put this back on. I'm obviously not going to go right away and put this in my Nintendo. I am going to give it proper time to dry. So pretty simple. When you're putting the cartridge back on, just make sure you align these. They're kind of like little clips. And then putting the bolts back in. The screws. So they are special screws. That's why you need the special drill bits or screwdrivers to do these in. Anything just outside you know, in a normal toolkit is probably not going to work. You could force it open, but, you know, then you're going to have a totally broken cartridge. Or at least stripped slots here. Okay. Magic. No more rattling. And you got your cartridge, and it's back to normal. So that's the method, guys. Yeah, so what you'll need essentially to fix this is obviously a rattling cartridge, which I no longer have. You'll need a screwdriver, a special screwdriver bit to open up these. Just go on Amazon or eBay or any of your favorite retro sites. Usually they'll have it. Some crazy glue will do. Any crazy glue. And either if you have time, you could simply just glue this piece right back in. It's a little more precise, a little more time consuming. Or you could do a slight glue on the top and push the board on and let the board dry, and you'll be fine. I've never had any issues inserting and removing the cartridges afterwards. I never had moving pins. Just make sure it dries in place. And that's all. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching.